Hey guys, welcome back here to the Fishing Teacher, and appreciate you guys joining me for a little on the water video today. Out here practicing on Table Rock Lake, we got our BFL tournament coming up in 2 days on Saturday, and it is a windy mother out here. The wind's blowing like 30 miles an hour. And guys, I want to give you guys some tips and advice on catching bass in the wind, especially during the springtime of the year. Hope the audio is not too bad. It's freaking blowing out here. But I want to talk a little bit about specifically in the springtime of the year, what you can do as far as using the wind to your advantage. So we're going to get in that today's video here. Also, guys, real quick, I don't know if you know, but SolarBat just came out with a new frame for my glasses, my RB2 and 3 series. We got a black frame right now. Before we had the gray lenses and sort of the tan. But if you guys would like to get a pair of these new black frames right here, I'll put the SolarBat link in the description. Much appreciated you guys checking those out. We also have them at my Tackle Warehouse link in the description there too, so really appreciate that. Okay, you're going to get a lot of wind sometime in the springtime of the year. It's like, wind, March, April, you have a lot of days like this when the front's getting ready to roll through, got a strong south wind. And I want to talk a little bit about the techniques that you can use specifically in the springtime of the year to catch bass. Now, a lot of this has to do with the specific water temperature that you have. Anytime that the water temperature is like over 55 degrees, like right now it's low 60s here on the lake, sort of that 55 to 65, maybe 70 degree water temperature in correlation with a strong wind usually activates the fish in a really big way. It's like the fish are up shallow. There's a lot of fish shallow this time of year. And anytime that you have water disturbance that's caused from the wind, you can't really tell it here. We're in the back of the cove, but it's white capping out on the main lake. But anytime that you have, the water disturbance caused by wind in correlation with water temperatures about like that, it makes the fish aggressive and it makes them active. And one of the things that you want to do with that is take advantage of the bigger moving baits. This is the best time of situation to do that. And the specific bait has a lot to do with your water clarity. If you're in water visibility that's like under 2 foot, man, the only 3 baits that you really need is some type of like a square bill crankbait, a big spinner bait, and a chatter bait. Those are excellent choices if that water visibility is stained and it's really windy. There's really not anything else that you need with that. I've never been in a situation where I've had stained water and a lot of wind where a spinner bait or some type of a bigger wide wobble and shallow crankbait or chatter bait, something like that, doesn't work. Now, if you're in cleaner water, like here, we're in probably 4 foot of clarity here, clear water situation. This is a really good time to throw a glide bait or swim bait. Something that the bass can see visually. They don't really have to displace water with it or create vibration. But a big jerk bait, like an oversized jerk bait, like it's a larger swim bait, glide bait, is going to be really good choices, if you have those type of wind situations. Now, you don't want to have wind like just coming in on a bank super hard. The places that you want to concentrate in are the same places that the bass should be in this time of year. So those are going to be the areas that are the flatter spawning type areas or the areas just outside of that. You don't want to just go anywhere and fish the wind. You want to find some wind disturbance on those places where the bass are normally at. So say, for example, here at Table Rock today, if we would have like a calm condition and fishing where I was right now, something like a Ned rig or a shaky head or a Texas rig is going to be the way to catch them. But in that same situation, you put a 20-mile-an-hour wind on it, you don't really need to fish slow like that because those fish are going to be up off the bottom. They're going to want to chase stuff, and you can move in those same type of areas with a moving bait and probably do even better. One of the big things when you have wind, though, any type of wind, is you want to cover a lot of water because wind, what it does, it tends to move the fish out from like the key prime looking areas. Now, if you're on a calm type of a day, the fish are going to be more in predictable areas, like in and around shade or rock transitions or around some type of cover, something for the fish to get around. But on a windy day, a lot of times you can catch them on the marginal stuff. So, say, for example, you got a nice rocky bank that's got a good rock transition and it looks really good. Yeah, there's going to be fish on that type of stuff. But say, for example, at the end of that area down there, maybe it'll turn flat looking and there's not much there. Normally, you would just pick up the trolling motor and leave. On a windy day, you want to fish everything. Get into your creek or your cove, and just put that trolling motor down and just saturate everything, because those fish will roam and they'll move a lot on a windy day in the springtime of year. But it's a good time to fish, man. It's like, I know a wind, you can cuss the wind a lot and it's a pain in the butt to fish, but anytime that you get a windy day in the spring when it's warm like it is right now, it's probably, I don't know, in the upper 70s right now. It's really, you can just feel the heat. Those fish are going to be shallow and they're going to be active and they're going to be chasing moving baits, and take advantage of it. That's the whole thing about bass fishing. Everything is situational depending upon your weather conditions, and wind is just another one of those factors. So, guys, hope it helps out. We'll talk later.